Hi, my name is Ezekiel, and I'm the founder of Ezekiel's Healing Tools, and I'm also an activist. We live in a challenging time. With the rise of a technological dependent modern society has come with a cost. With an increase in overwhelm, fatigue, insomnia, and depression, now more than ever, people need more positive energy in their lives. Here at Ezekiel's Healing Tools, our mission is to provide our customers with the tools they need to increase positive energy and protect themselves against negative energy.
This campaign is determined to sell you on the idea of Orgone energy and its related material called Orgonite. Now, a little bit of history for all those of you that are not old enough to remember this material and know what the basis for the claims being made here are, or at least I should say the dodging around those claims and maybe why. Orgone energy was proposed by a fellow by the name of Wilhelm Reich. He was a guy that was into physical bioenergy, and he found the supposed material based on Sigmund Freud's theories of neurosis in humans. Reich was a contemporary of Freud, to the best of my memory, and his whole idea was that there's this natural flow of life energy in the body, and when that flow is disturbed or interrupted, it leads to physical and mental disease. Now, this concept is not strictly one that is new. It's been proposed by many religious orders. It's been proposed in many countries, China, India, and so forth. And in fact, today you would probably find that there are people that are still doing this in the various New Age places around the world. Now, Reich discovered that, or supposedly discovered, that by layering organic and inorganic material, kind of like the layers on a cake, I suppose, that you can generate etheric energy, which he called Orgone. Now, a lot of claims were made for Orgone energy and Orgonite, not the least of which was that it could cure various physical ailments as well as mental ones, stuff like cancer. The government did not like that, and the FDA stepped in, seized all of the so-called Orgone generators, which were essentially a box that persons could sit in and supposedly have that Orgone energy concentrated on them, and destroyed it. They reached an agreement with Wilhelm Reich that he would stop using his generators in proposing this stuff, which they felt, and I do too, was pseudoscience. He didn't do it. As a consequence, he ended up in federal prison where he died in 1957, the crime being refusing to stop using the Orgone generator boxes he invented and the reported cure for cancer. But that wasn't all. You see, according to Freud, an awful lot of problems that we had were caused by restrictions on the libido. Problems, in other words, well, with getting frisky, I guess. He claimed, Reich did, that Orgone probably helped you with that, and there were an awful lot of people that really bought into it, probably on that basis alone, and some of them were quite prominent. There is absolutely no indication that any of this is true. And so the matter lay for a good many years. But here's where it gets interesting. Reich had managed to seal the records legally of his research for 50 years after his death, which meant that around 2007, that research was now opened, and in rushed a whole bunch of people that were part of the woo crowd. They really want to believe that somehow there is some sort of mystical invisible energy that nobody else can prove, nobody else can demonstrate, and that it would work in healing people and curing things that were essentially mental and in some cases might cure physical. Here's where it gets really, really dicey. People are very much aware that the reason that Reich went to federal prison was his claim that physical ailments were cured, like cancer. Today, many in the woo crowd are those who have very, very questionable cures or treatments or so forth, put the phrase in all of their stuff that these claims have not been established or verified by the FDA. It's kind of a get out of free card, and even now those people who are proposing orgone generators are using it. Ezekiel Reyes is absolutely no exception. He's part of the woo crowd. As a consequence, well, his stuff makes no real claim, but he's able to make a good market selling these pyramids to the various people that subscribe to, well, alternative beliefs, let's call them. It's nonsense. The stuff that they are talking about does not exist, in my opinion, and, well, if you want to give him money, all you're really buying is a very expensive paperweight, aren't you? So remember, anytime you see the words Orgone, Orgonite, or Orgone energy in any crowdfunding or legitimate campaign, it's based on Wilhelm Reich's discovery of an unseen and unmeasurable radiation that only he claimed to be able to produce, and as a consequence, well, it cost him his life in federal prison. But now that his research is just out there with that get out of jail free card, well, anybody can claim anything, I guess, provided they don't really say that they diagnose or treat anything. But they're sure going to do their best to get you to believe it, aren't they? If you don't take anything away with you from any of this series, remember this. If they can't, as in our previous example, baffle you with BS, then they're going to do everything they can to make you afraid of the most normal things possible. Things like your cell phone. Take a look at OneShield, for instance. Here is their pitch video.
The mobile phone is a major part of everyone's life. And now, with the introduction of 5G, access to mobile data will be faster and better than ever, which is fantastic news. Or is it? Did you know that every time you use your mobile phone or use Wi-Fi, your phone is emitting harmful waves that are dangerous to the people around you? These waves are particularly dangerous to the sensitive brains and organs of young children and babies. Research has suggested that there is potential damage caused to DNA. Therefore, pregnant women should be particularly mindful of these harmful rays. We were looking into a solution and were introduced to 12-year-old research into the harmful torsion waves that had not been commercially implemented. So we applied it to develop OneShield, a simple-looking nanotechnology sticker that, when applied to the phone, deflect the torsion waves and protect against it.
We approached Dr. Schiller and his team in Salzburg in Austria to conduct tests on the blood of human patients before and after the use of our products. With today's advancement in technology, we can now see through dark field analysis the pictures of the blood and how they are structured. The results that we were provided with by his team are dramatic.
The OneShield sticker really is a must for anyone with a mobile phone today.
Now, if you really take a look at what they're offering you, it's a sticker. And that sticker is supposed to prevent you from being harmed and your unborn children and a lot of others by the unseen but known radiation that emanates all around us 24/7, and in particular from the ubiquitous cell phone. How does this protect you? Who knows? But here's an interesting thing. It just so happens that this sticker can prevent you from being injured by that radiation emanating from the cell phone, and it's all the most popular brands. Isn't that amazing? Maybe, just maybe, that's the reason this is no longer being crowdfunded. Magic stickers on anything don't really work, do they? Of course, that isn't going to stop the juggernaut that is crowdfunding from continuing to instill fear from people that don't know any better. Say hello to the next iteration coming down the pipe. This has been Crowdfunding Hell.